We were proud to make sure she got into the seat. Now we're going to keep her in the seat. I know Congresswoman Katherine Clark will be joining virtually. Mayor Arrigo isn't here yet, but I think is intending to. Sheriff Steve Tompkins is in the house. Representative Jeff Turco is here. Representative Jessica Giannino. I saw Phil. Rep. Adrian Madaro. City Council President Ed Flynn. And City Councilor Kenzie. And another fighter, someone I'm so excited is, and also like me, similarly helped into office by Lydia, Representative Kip Diggs. Oh, and Senator Diana DeSalio is here, candidate for auditor. Plus lots of former elected officials in the room too. I'm going to keep my remarks short. I know we're all excited, we're pumped up, we're ready to go because it hasn't been that long. We're just dusting off our shoes here. It wasn't that long ago that we were right in this very space celebrating an incredible step forward for our city, for our Commonwealth, for the region, for this district, and making sure that the representation here reflects all of our communities, reflects the, oh, sorry, I want to mention a candidate for Attorney General, also Andrea Campbell is here. This is huge, that Councilor and Senator Edwards has ushered in a whole new way of doing business at the State House, making sure that people are at the fore, making sure that everybody has a chance to shape what's happening at all levels of government, and she's someone who is never going to back down. No matter if it is taking on the developers at Suffolk Downs to negotiate the right deal that's fair and will create jobs and affordability for decades into the future. Fighting to ensure that in the city of Boston, our residents have direct say and access to the city council having a role in our budget process. Leading the country on making sure that we have an affirmatively furthering fair housing provision within our zoning code that is codified, it is permanent, it's long-lasting. And that's not even to mention all of her side hustles that she has going on, helping co-ops organize, helping women open businesses, protecting workers in her capacity just as an attorney and community leader. So, I am so sad that we are watching her take off just one of those hats in a couple weeks, where she will formally be stepping down for the city council. But very, very excited that means that all that energy is going to pour right up into fighting for her district, fighting for our cities, fighting for the people in our community. So I am proud to introduce State Senator Lydia Edwards.
And before I get started, I want to shout out some of my dear friends and counselors in service. I think Hannah Belcher from Winthrop is here. Tracy Honan is here from Winthrop. And Steve Madaro as well. I mean, I'm always going to recognize the counselors because we know deep down inside the day-to-day, the hard work and the grind of municipal representatives is no less important than those in the State House or at the federal level. We all work extremely hard to advocate for the people that have given us the honor to allow for us to serve them. So I just wanted to make sure we recognize all of those folks. I am here today to formally launch my re-election. This is now running for my own 2 years, for my own ability to kind of bring my part of my vision and some of my hard work and yes, some of the side hustles all to the State House formally. But most importantly, I'm just genuinely excited that this is again another moment to celebrate. This room is who I fight for. It's diverse in age and race and background and geography. And this is our state, this is our community. And this is what we're gonna fight for, to make sure that everybody feels that they too can one day become a state senator or a state representative, be what their natural talents and God-given potential can allow them to be. That's what we fight for. We fight to make sure that government is working for those potential people, for those folks who have no idea where they want to be one day, but they'll have the education that they need in order to get on the right track, that they'll have the jobs that they deserve, that are good paying jobs, union jobs, and their future jobs, that they'll have the air, the clean air that they need to breathe, that they will feel valued by their community no matter where they live, and whether they live in public housing or private market-based housing. You are valued, you are important, and your government needs to fight for you. I'm honored to continue that fight and those conversations in many different languages, because again, that's what our district speaks, many beautiful different languages. I want to, before I continue, say I am also honored to have started another tradition here. We break glass ceilings, we do what we do, but we also, today I've hired Eduardo Moreno to be my chief of staff. Eduardo is from East Boston. Eduardo is also from El Salvador. Eduardo's journey from being a young immigrant person and dealing with status, and literally, what I find so incredible about him is that he was working one semester and then going to school for a semester and then working and then going, like so many immigrants who don't have in-state tuition, something we should be working on, but so many people who are doing everything they can with their God-given talent just to sit in the classroom. That journey, that he was documented and now he's a US citizen. Elected officials from all over the country, many elected officials all over the state can trace their roots back to East Boston. We make Americans here. They came here, second only to Ellis Island. We make Americans here. And we're never second in New York. So we did more. So the point is, this is our neighborhood, but it's also the pathway and the gateway to so many different futures. And that's how we see ourselves. That's where our activism comes from generations of people of many different colors, many, many women who came before me, whose shoulders I stand on, who would never have seen, probably they didn't in their lifetime, a woman being the state senator. But here I am. Here we are. And we got a lot of work to do. We got a lot of work to do. And it's so exciting to be able to get it done with you. I want to just highlight some of the things that are already going to happen in the history that my colleagues have helped to start already in the House. Adrian, Jess, and Jeff, thank you so much for your vote for the Crown Act. The Senate is going to follow up this Thursday. We're going to be banning discrimination against people with natural hair, like me. This is natural hair. This is my hair, and in its natural state, in many cases, it has been treated as though it's lesser than. No more in the state of Massachusetts. And I want to thank you for your leadership, and that's what partnership is. We called in, we checked in, we said, what are you doing, how are you doing it? And that's how we're going to keep going. Inclusive, strong, growing together as we move through policies, as we have difficult conversations. The conversations, however, I promise you will always happen. They will be transparent, and you are always invited to the table. We don't have to always get up from the table agreeing 100%. But I will do everything I can to make sure you feel comfortable to sit down, to have that conversation, to come back for other conversations, and to know that I am fighting for you. We may come from different perspectives, and we may lead with different definitions of justice, but there really is only one way to listen. That's with an open heart, an open mind, and truly making people feel empowered when they talk to you. There's no other definition. Listen. So I want to thank you all for being here tonight. I also want to just let you know, not only am I running for re-election, on April 18th I'll be running the Boston Marathon. Another side hustle. Because I'm not busy enough that I got to go find, another 4 or 5 hours of my life to run 20 miles this Sunday actually. But I bring this up because part of what I do is try to always reflect and support people like my mother. And I'm running this race in part to say goodbye to the city council, but also to support the scholarship that we started here in East Boston in the name of the Maverick Street Mothers. As you remember, 3 years ago, we started the scholarship. I want to thank our former executive director of the nonprofit, the Edwards Empowerment Fund, Ed Coletta. Thank you so much. And what does it do? We raise money so that parents who are involved in the community can go to school. It's one of the few parent-based scholarships. And it's in honor of these women because many of them did some of the greatest activism. Many of them put their bodies and their children and their time into this. And they were doing this at a time where that wasn't really recognized. Those women many had the potential, but many did not and were not able to go to formal school, but they were highly educated. Don't get confused. They were highly educated. They just didn't have the time, and our society in many cases was not going to give them the opportunity. Though Dr. Edie DeAngelis did. But the fact is, we want to continue to reflect, support, and push for parents, it's for men and women, to be able to get the higher education. We have sent over 10, so far mothers, but so far 10 people to beauty school, to community college, to MIT, to nursing school, and several have gotten scholarships for ESL private lessons so they can learn English and get prepared to go to school. That's what this community did. We raised several $1000s, and Adrian can attest to the huge support that we had. He was our MC at one of our biggest fundraisers. So I'm running for them, and I hope you'll consider supporting them as well. We'll be giving out the scholarships this fall. I do not select them. I can't do it because I would otherwise give it out to everybody. But I think if anything I've learned from my mother, take your potential, take your talent, and do what you can to help others. And so that's what I'm doing. I'm not the fastest runner. I promise to finish the race. That's what you get from me. I will finish the race every single time. I'll finish the race and I'll be fighting for people along the way. So thank you. I just want to have my dear friend come up, Adrian Madaro. I think he's supported me in every race so far, and we talk regularly. He's the new father of one of my favorite constituents, Mateo. And I just wanted to pass the mic to him and thank him for coming. Thank you, Adrian.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Adrian Madaro, proud to be the state representative here in East Boston. So for those of you not from Eastie, welcome to God's country, everybody. It's not the North End of Bennington, no. And if Dan Manning is here, it's not Southie either, all right? It's in East Boston, at least for tonight, all right? And I have the mic, so no one else can say otherwise. Lydia, thank you for bringing us all together. What a beautiful room. We have colleagues from City Hall and the State House. We have neighbors from near and far, and you made this happen tonight. Thank you, Lydia. A round of applause. Because I think we all miss seeing people. We all miss being with each other. I have the important task tonight of asking you all for some support. Now, Lydia is just coming off a hard-fought campaign where she became our newest state senator. And it is expensive to run a race. Anyone who's held office, and there are current elected officials and plenty former elected officials here right now, knows that it is expensive. So not only is she coming off a race, but she's going right into another campaign for re-election. So please, folks, do what you can, reach into your pockets. If you can donate, please do, because we need Lydia. I've had the honor of serving with Lydia when she was my city councilor, and now I'm just thrilled that she's joining us in the State House to continue the advocacy for East Boston and for the Senate District at this point. But again, it does take resources, folks. So if you wouldn't mind donating whatever you can, every little bit helps, but it is just a really important aspect of this job. It's the worst part about this job. I think any of the electeds in this room would agree, but it is a necessary thing. So thank you all so much for supporting Lydia. Thank you all so much for coming out to East Boston tonight. And there's still food, there's drinks, and there's great company. So enjoy the evening. Thank you.